Welcome back to the Den of Nerds. I am Josh, and we need to talk about the X-Men and Doctor Doom. And the reason why is actually a combination of rumor. Are rumors that the X-Men and the Avengers are going to be fighting in Avengers Doomsday. And there's also a big rumor that Doctor Doom is going to first present himself as Iron Man and as an ally to the Avengers. Doctor Doom, or Doctor Doom pretending to be Iron Man, is key for the Avengers to have any chance against the X-Men. I mean, just look at the teams they got right now. I mean, Magneto and freaking Professor X, just those two alone would probably wipe most of the Avengers from 616 right now. But believe it or not, whether it's just Tony Stark or it's actually RDJ as Doctor Doom, that character is key for the Avengers to be able to beat the X-Men. So we got some sweet speculation here, some nerdy goodness, but let's get into it. And let's begin by talking about Tony Stark. And the reason we need to talk about Tony Stark is because we technically don't know exactly what is going on with RDJ's Doctor Doom. I think there's two basic theories here. Either this Doom is actually an Iron Man variant, or Iron Man was actually a Doctor Doom variant, which I know that sounds crazy, but I've been making videos about that since the announcement was first made over a year ago. I seriously think I have over 1 million views in videos talking about that theory, and a lot of other people are starting to notice and pretend that they haven't seen my videos and like make their own theories that are basically the same thing. So it's getting out there right now. But the point is, either way you slice it, we really don't know for sure how this is going to go. And so I think it's useful to begin thinking about Tony Stark, because even if this is Doctor Doom, he might just be a Tony Stark that kind of became Doctor Doom. But the point is, even if it's just Tony Stark or just Tony Stark in general, he would actually be a massive part of how the Avengers would be able to combat against the X-Men. The X-Men have Omega level mutants, right? They have Charles Xavier. They have Magneto. They have Storm, who is absolutely an Omega level mutant. They have friggin' Bobby, Iceman. He's Omega level. Jean Grey's Omega level. If she gets the Phoenix Force, it's freaking over. It's just a lot of heavy hitters. They're way more powerful than the current Avengers. But Tony Stark has had multiple inventions that have made some of the powers that the X-Men have go away. For instance, Tony Stark was actually able to come up with a weapon that literally shot the Phoenix Force and blew it into 5 separate pieces. That's fucking crazy. Just think about what that means. Like, he literally made a big gun that blasted the Phoenix Force in the fucking face. So he can do some crazy shit like that with his technology. On top of that, Iron Man has made multiple versions of his suits and of his drones that cannot be affected by Magneto's power. And that's crazy because he could create weapons or suits of armor for all of the other Avengers. Remember, they literally all have nanotech in Avengers Endgame to allow them to use the Pym particles to travel through time. That's all Tony Stark tech. So there's literally no reason that he couldn't also invent weapons for all of the Avengers that would make it so Magneto wouldn't be able to affect them. And that's huge, because without that, the Avengers would get absolutely decimated. On top of that, Tony Stark has created multiple sets of armors that repel telepathic attacks. He created an endo-sim armor. This literally used symbiotic technology like a part of symbiotes, and it was able to repel telepathic attacks. And his Model 70 armor was so advanced that it protected against a wide variety of hazards, including magnetic fields, psionic intrusions, and that armor itself was literally just anti-Professor X and anti-Magneto. And so Iron Man and his technology and his ability to invent would be crucial to helping the 616 to defeat these X-Men. So we can imagine a scenario where Doctor Doom pops up and he presents himself as Tony Stark, right? And maybe the whole thing is like, hey guys, the Avengers are going to have to fight the X-Men. That's just what's going to happen. I am an Avenger. I'm a Tony Stark variant from out there in the multiverse. They destroyed my world. I am here to make sure your world isn't destroyed. And then he could perhaps distribute weapons and technology that would prevent a lot of the X-Men's powers, like the telepathic attacks, even potentially some of the stuff with the Phoenix Force, Magneto's attacks, all sorts of stuff would be nullified by technology brought by this new Tony Stark. And I actually think this will be a big part of it, because I can't make sense of the Avengers being able to fight against the X-Men any other way, basically. Like, I think they will need Tony Stark and his technology. And it's even possible that some of the stuff that had been left behind by Tony Stark, like his own tech, could be used to create some of this stuff anyways. Like, Peter Parker is intelligent enough to be able to use Stark tech to create some of this stuff. Reed Richards, who's apparently going to be helping out the Avengers, he's intelligent enough to use Stark tech to do some of the same stuff I was just describing. So that's really cool, and there are multiple ways that this could show up in the film, but there's also the option for this RDJ Doctor Doom to reveal that he is Doctor Doom, and oh my god, Doctor Doom can probably walk through all of the X-Men on his own. Doctor Doom would have all of the same abilities that Tony Stark had via technology, with one major difference. Doctor Doom would also be adding sorcery into the mix. Doctor Doom's magic is so powerful that psychics can't get through, and anytime they try, Doom has the ability to actually put them into some kind of a spell trap. But to be honest with you, Doom doesn't even need to use sorcery, as his willpower alone is enough to force psychics away. However, in the example we're describing here, where he would need to help the Avengers defeat the X-Men, I don't really think he's going to be able to just take his willpower and transfer it into other people, but he absolutely could cast spells or wards on the other members of the Avengers to make it so that telepaths wouldn't be able to affect them. And I'm kind of curious about this, right? Because according to these rumors of this Doctor Doom presenting himself as Iron Man, he's trying to pretend to be an ally at first. And I can't quite figure out how this is all going to fit together in the movie, because I think Doom has a lot of other stuff going on. Like, he technically has bigger fish to fry, but it's also possible the sacred timeline itself is so important to Doom's plan that he's not going to allow the X-Men to destroy that universe. Maybe that's what it is. And I'm curious, like, what if this Doom presents himself as a version of Iron Man that also knows magic? Would the Avengers then allow themselves to use the technology he has and presents to them, and also use magic to try to help them? And could the potential magic that this Doctor Doom or this presented Iron Man uses actually end up being a trap? And despite all of the things we don't know about this, I do know that the Avengers actors and the X-Men actors and Kevin Feige himself have wanted this conflict for a long time. And I guarantee you all of the nerdy people at Marvel Studios have been thinking about some of the same things we just talked about in this video. Again, the main point is the 616 Avengers as they currently exist would get absolutely dominated by an average Fox X-Men team. But when you add Tony Stark into the mix, it completely equalizes a lot of these different fights, and it gives the Avengers a huge chance against the X-Men. And so that is why it is a perfect time to introduce this conflict into the MCU, and I'm so damn excited, because this will be Tony Stark or Doctor Doom, who are kind of gonna turn out to be essentially the same character either way Marvel does this. Those characters are completely central to giving the Avengers a fighting chance against these godlike Omega level mutants. And as a big time comic book fan, I cannot wait to see that on the screen, and I cannot wait for normies to finally understand how powerful and how important a character like Tony Stark, a character like Doctor Doom, are. So there you have it, guys. Just a little sweet speculation here based on some rumors that are going on for Doomsday, why I think either Tony Stark or Doctor Doom is essential for the Avengers to defeat the X-Men. Let me know if you have any questions about it in the comment section below. And as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.